Hey guys, this is Joy back again with another video, and I wanted to say thank you so much for tuning in. Appreciate the likes, the subscribes, and the shares. Thank you for the comments. Please continue to do that, everyone. So today's video is going to be called Going No Contact with the Narcissist and Why It's Important. Now, before I give you guys tips, I just wanted to tell you like my story with the no contact with both of the narcissists that I dated. So the first one, going no contact, was actually a little difficult because I was new to the whole like narcissist and like the abuse and everything. So I actually did quite well because we stopped talking. It was back in like 2014. And I remember I went like a whole month with not talking to him. And then I want to say it was like in April, I contacted him and I was like, oh, hey, like, how are you? Because that was before I knew the type of person that he was. I just knew like out of nowhere he gave me like silent treatment because I didn't let him come to my place. And that was because I had just felt like maybe he was dating someone or he was just doing something. And so, yeah, and so he basically gave me the silent treatment, and that's basically it's a form of punishment. That's why they do that, like where they don't talk to you and they ignore you and pretend like you don't exist. And then around that time, that's when they start flaunting the new supply and trying to make you jealous so that way you can react and contact them because that's what they want. But, yeah, so I had contacted him in April. And then I texted him and he didn't respond, and so that was continuing the abuse. And then I want to say it was like in May, I had called him and I was like, oh hey, like how are you? And he's like, oh, I'm good. And by that time he was like, oh, I was like, oh, like, did you want to come by? Because I was still thinking like we were friends because I had been knowing him for 4 years. And so I was just like, okay, well, maybe he's mad or whatever. I didn't know he was a monster. And he was all like, oh, yeah, I have a girlfriend now. So like basically like trying to throw that in my face or whatever. Because I was still trying to get him to like come over because I thought he was genuine. But he threw that in my face. And then I was all like, oh, okay, like, I'm happy for you. Like, that's good for you. And then I still was like, oh, did you want to come by or whatever? And then, yeah, and then I was like, oh, well, whatever. I think I like let it go. And then he was all like, did I kill your dreams? And when he said that, I didn't really get it at first, but now that I look back, he knew what he was doing and he meant to hurt me, and he was just trying to make sure that he hurt me in the worst way possible. Because when was inviting him to come see me, I had my own spot at the time, and I didn't have any roommates or nothing, and he knew that I was alone, and so that's why I think he was just comfortable enough and open to just be like, oh, okay, like I have a girlfriend now, whatever, whatever. And then I'm like, okay, cool. And so, yeah, so that was was very traumatizing. And then after that point, I had literally went no contact. What I did was I deleted him from Facebook. I blocked him. Yeah, I didn't hear from him, and he hoovered me 6 months from then. And he was having people like call me and ask for him and for me to contact him. So that's why I knew it was through him, and I knew he was stalking me. I knew he was watching my Facebook and my YouTube and everything. So I knew that, but he was still in a relationship with someone, and that's how you guys know that these people, they don't love or they don't care about the people that they're with. They're just using them as a source of supply. And for those of you that are wondering if they're happy with someone new, no, they're not happy. They're never happy. They're miserable people. They'll always be miserable. Nothing makes them happy. Except for when they are abusing you and getting over on someone. That makes them happy. So yeah, and then the second guy, the no contact, he ended up hoovering me. It was like 2 months after I stopped talking to him. And he had been flaunting the new girl all over. And I'm just sitting here like, wow, this dude is crazy. Like, he trying to make it seem like he's in love and all this and that. And to me, it's just like, a lot of people do things the opposite to what they're feeling. So the fact that he was going out of his way to make it seem like, oh, I'm happy now, da 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 da. And I'm just like, come on. Like, you're not fooling anybody here. So, yeah. And you definitely want to go no contact, especially after it ends, because they're going to be doing so many things that won't make sense to you. And what they're trying to do is get you back into that cycle of abuse. And so what they'll do is they'll give you the silent treatment. They'll start um, trying to make you remember the good times and try to like guilt trip you and gaslight you, everything. Like you don't want to, you want to end it, just stop the contact. And that's because it helps you heal from the trauma that you've experienced. And I'm still getting over the cognitive dissonance that I've gone through. And basically that's when, like, you know, someone is like not nice to you, but then you remember like, oh well, they took me out to dinner, but then they called me fat. You know what I mean? So it's like, that's not a good thing, you know. Or like, he introduced me to his family, but then he puts you down right in front of them. You know what I mean? So that's like kind of like a cognitive dissonance that you'll get when you are in a relationship with a narcissist. And then even after you leave, because you're sitting here like, wow, like I was with this person, they're great, they're even flaunting this new person around, but then he abused me behind closed doors and called me like whatever, who knows what he called you, like insensitive, or you know, just something like that, something small. But yeah, like that's something that you will experience, and that's like, you have to heal from your traumatic experience. You don't want to be in contact with them, because they're only going to uh make you not want, like, not get over that traumatic experience, because they don't care about you. They just want to get you back into that relationship so they can continue doing what they was already doing before. And then another reason is because you could separate yourself from the abuse, which is kind of like what I was mentioning. Like, since you've been in that abusive relationship, you don't really recognize it. Maybe, and this is another thing that they do, and I'm going to make a video about it, is what they do is they isolate you from your family and your friends. And since you're in it, you don't see that you're being abused. I mean, unless they're doing the abuse overtly, because a lot of times the narcissists that I've dated, they were all covert, but then when they really got comfortable and they knew that I wouldn't like say anything like bad or like leave them, they will overtly abuse me, overtly put me down, or overtly shame me or whatever, you know, to make themselves feel better. And yeah, you have to separate yourself from that situation, because it'll give you a different thought on it, or a different perspective on what's happening to you. And you won't see that if you're in constant contact with these people. You don't see the red signs. I mean, or you will see the red flags, because I know I've seen the red flags, but I just kept at it. I was just like, okay, let me just try and see if they're just upset or angry. But no, that's just them. That's their personality, mental disorder, you know. But they don't see it as that. They don't think anything's wrong with them. They know that they're different, but they don't think that they have a problem. And another reason why you want to go no contact and why it's important is because, like I said, you could see what it is that really happened to you. And I've experienced a post-traumatic stress disorder, dealing with a narcissist, just having like withdrawals, and like I said, the cognitive dissonance, you know, really just questioning myself like after it happened to me. And excuse me. Yeah, I mean, you start to see like, okay, this person really didn't care at all. You know what I mean? They was just in it just for the fun of it. Like, they only cared about their needs. Their needs was all that mattered. Yours didn't. And you're there to serve them, you know. And like I said, you don't see that once you're in the relationship. You have to go no contact, and be aware they will try to break your boundaries, because when you go no contact, you're basically setting a boundary, and you're like, hey, I need some space, I need to figure things out. And they don't want you to do that. They don't want you to get perspective on what's going on, because they know that if you do, you'll leave them, you know. And then the last tip is that it helps you to get power over the situation by not giving them access to your life. Because at the end of the day, the narcissist, what they have over you is your trust. Like, if you trust someone, you will open up to them. You will, I mean, pretty much let them into your life, and, you know, kind of get suggestions and advice and opinions from people that you trust. And when you trust a narcissist, they take advantage of that, and they want to control your life. They want to abuse you. They want to destroy your life, basically. And but if you go no contact, you can separate yourself from that. You can detach and understand that, yes, I have been abused. you know, it wasn't my fault. This person was mentally disordered, but if I continue to stay in this situation, then it is my fault because I'm allowing it to happen. I'm allowing myself to be abused, and that's something that I struggled with. But thank goodness I have been no contact with both of the narcissists for a long, long time. The first one, I haven't talked to him since 2014, which is great, and the second one, I haven't talked to him since 2016. So I'm really proud of myself, and I hope you guys will stay no contact. They don't mean you any good. They're very manipulative, cunning. They're not nice people whatsoever. So if you guys enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up. Please continue to subscribe, and share. And my website is coming up very shortly, and I'll be letting you guys know more details about my coaching services. I'm really excited about that, you guys. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Oh, and also, I do have an email address that I changed it from joygiggles21. I have a new one. It's called livenarcfree9, the number 9, @gmail.com. Again, it's livenarcfree9 @gmail.com. And that's if you have any questions. But I do prefer you guys to leave them in the comment box below. But if it's something that's a little bit more personal, you can email me at livenarcfree, the number 9, @gmail.com. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye.